Good guys, today I'm gonna share with you a really nice and satisfying method on how to paint your own eggs. I know what I said. Anyway, it's really satisfying. It's not perfect, but it's pretty satisfying and also useful actually if you wanna paint pottery, you know, something like that. So what you see right now is obviously an egg, and you can paint it something like that, you know. So this one here, a nice pattern, and you can already see the why that is kind of fun. It's because the object is rotating, and I didn't actually think I would be able to figure this out today, and so I'm very happy. So I just, you know, played around a little bit because it's Easter, and I thought, hey, that I want to do something, but then I got tired. I thought, I don't want to do an animation, and so I just started to, you know, to paint an egg in the texture mode, but it didn't work out. This one, however, works out very well, and so I'm gonna share this principle with you. One thing before we start is you need to be aware that if you just, you know, paint on one, you need to move the mouse cursor a little bit around so that the Blender knows you want to paint on something. It's not a perfect system, it's more like a hack if you want, but it's, again, it's very satisfying, and it has actually a use. You can also increase the speed, but this depends a little bit on the frame rate, you know, or something like that. Dot, 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 dot. It's super satisfying. You can slow it down, make it slower, like so, and then you can be more precise, you know. And also you can stop the animation, and then you can just put a guy like this here, and then look at that, continue animation, look at that, continue animation, and look at that, without positioning yourself. So it actually can have a good use, you know, and that's what I'm going to share with you. What we focusing on is what we are focusing on is how to set up the scene so that you are being able to paint on an object which is rotating with different colors. That's what we're focusing on. Because we are using Vertex paint, we need an object with a high density. The higher the density, the better the results, you know. But there is a way to bake the vertices onto a texture, so that works, and we maybe cover that a little bit, but only this is not the main focus, because texture baking textures, I'm not an expert on this, and I myself have to learn to get better with this, so I have to tweak around a lot. So this is not the focus on. The focus is on this scene. Yeah, we're gonna create a scene like this. Okay, let's create a completely new scene. So first thing, delete the camera, delete the cube. We're gonna need an egg. We need an egg. So it doesn't matter how you produce the egg. I know there are a lot of ways producing egg. You can lay one, you can, you know, I get it. Okay, let's just you know, use your own favorite method. I'm gonna just grab a UV sphere, and then I'm gonna go into the edit mode, press S, press Z, and make an egg-like figure. That's it. I'm done already, so satisfied with that. Now I'm going to use modifier. I'm going to use the subdivision modifier, subdivision surface modifier, and I'm gonna use 3 times subdivision, and I'm applying it to you. I'm applying it. Yeah, I'm applying it onto the egg, and yeah, you can use less if you have a less powerful PC or you're using a laptop or anything, you know. But be aware, the less geometry you have, the blurrier it becomes, basically. That's how the vertex color stuff works. So, speaking of vertex colors, let's start with that first. We're gonna go from object mode into vertex paint mode. That's important. Not texture paint, but not texture paint, but vertex paint. And now let's change the color into blue or anything you like, and just draw something on it that we see something. So that's nice. And there is also, you know, the mirror stuff, but we're not going to use the mirror stuff. So you paint something on top of this and be happy with it. So that's the first task. Then we need to go into the shading. And when we change the render view from solid to this or that, the color information disappears. So we are going to object mode, make sure the egg is selected or your object, press on new, double check it if you want with the material properties. We have a new material. I'm making it bigger for you. I'm pressing Shift A. Alternatively, you can click on add and then search. And search for color attribute, and then put the color attribute into the base color, and it already works. So that's fine, but be aware if you later on change it to cycles, there you cannot see it. So make sure that you click on this empty field in color attributes and choose color, which probably stands for color, I think. And now it's visible in cycles too. So that's important, because if you are not doing this in Eve, you know, that's fine, but later on in cycles, you know, it doesn't show and you will be confused. So just do it, you know, that you're not getting confused later on. We can jump back to Eve for now, that's okay. So we have our object, we have the vertex color system set up. We can go back to a layout. Now position yourself nicely and make the, if you want, the timeline a little bit bigger, and press the N key so that we see the transformation information. Jump to frame 1, either by typing it into here or, you know, just going back. So frame 1 is okay, and now hover over the set value and rotation in the rotation transformation thing, like here, this one, and hover over it and type in I. So now when you did this, when you press the I key and hovered over this value, you have one keyframe. Jump to keyframe at frame 100, like so. Doesn't have to be exactly 100, but you know, just do it. It's easier that way. When you do that exactly like in the video, hover with your mouse over the Z value again and press left mouse button, type in 360 and press enter. Now you have 360 degree. Hover with your mouse over this value and press I again. Now you have a second keyframe. When we jump back and play the animation, change the viewport render so that we see a color information, otherwise the rotation is hard to see. So, you know, set up the render like so, you know, make sure you see the color and press the animation. Now our egg is rotating, but we want an endless animation rotation. How you do that is up to you. I'm gonna use a cycle modifier for that. So go back to 100, select this guy, and then change this one to the graph editor. Don't freak out, press the home key or position 1 key to go automatically to the frame 100. If you don't know where the home key is or position key, just scroll out with the mouse wheel and look for frame 100, you know, and look for this guy here. So, and then press on the modifier here and choose add modifier cycles. And if you want to have a smooth transition between a cycle animation, just a side note, you can ignore that because it's 360 degrees, so it'll be smooth anyways. But just saying, if you ever have a not smooth cycle endless animation, change the type here to repeat with offset afterwards, after frame 0, and you can also repeat this one with offset, optional. Okay, so go back to the timeline, and now when we play, we have an endless animation cycle. If you don't get that, if the graphic editor overwhelms you, but you can make things rotate, that's also fine. Just make sure your object is rotating for a long time. So I'm gonna end. Speaking about a long time, we have to increase the, you know, the timeline. We have to make it longer. So I'm gonna use the maximum, it seems. So we just need a long, endless animation. And how you do this is really up to you. Important is the object is rotating, right? So, but this cycle animation way makes it much easier, because you can also now, you know, it's rotating endlessly, but if you change the position while it's still rotating, you can, you know, increase the speed or slow it down just by simply dragging one animation key to a different position. Okay, so that's done. Now let's go to the fun part. The best part is first I'm gonna go click on the command. What is it? Blender, tell me. Material properties, and I'm just giving it a more shinier texture or material. Right click and set the thing to smooth. If I have done it already. It looks, you know, not perfect, but it's good enough. Now we are. I'm going to turn this one on, but this is optional. So this one I turn on, and I always turn this on. But this is really optional. This is just I just need to do it. It's like getting sick if I'm not doing it. Okay, so yeah. Now the fun part. Let's jump into Vertex Paint. Make sure before I do that the egg is selected, or your object. Go into the Vertex Paint, and now you can change the color here, and you know, you can now paint your object while it's rotating, and so in this way you can make some unique patterns in an easy way without, you know, of course you could rotate manually, you know, and then here and there, and you could also use your mouse pad, and it works fine. But I like the other method more because it's really like that. It's just more fun. It's so much more fun to do that, and yeah, in this way you can paint your stuff, and then later on, when you're more familiar with painting in general, you can also do that thing which I did at the beginning. But we can also, when we click, this is optional again, texture properties, click, wait, I'm gonna do this again. So click on the texture properties, click on new. You can use a different brush. Then we're gonna choose, let's just choose clouds, why not? So we've chosen clouds, going back to, where is it here? To this guy here, active tools and workspace setting. And I'm gonna choose white, otherwise we don't see the patterns. And now I think texture, this one is now, we chose this earlier, so this one we have right now. If I play the animation, we can now, you know, have a different egg. Hey, this actually looks kind of like a real egg from a bird or something, you know. Green, like so. It's just I'm telling you, it's just so much fun to do it. So I also think, you know, if you're using it or not for anything, it doesn't really matter. You should really just give it a try because it's really fun. And if you have kids and you want them to also, you know, maybe you want to share how fun Blender can be, then this is a good opportunity because it's so easy, and I promise you it's also fun for kids, at least for 10 seconds, which is huge. They're gonna have fun for 10 seconds for sure, and then you can, you know, just paint that. You don't have to do even those things. You can just, you know, it's also fine when you just have a one color object. Yeah, you know, F, decreasing with F you can decrease or increase the size of your pencil, and then you can just do that, you know. Important is, unfortunately, if you just paint, left mouse click, and you don't move, it doesn't work. So Blender, because it's kind of a hack, you really need to, you know, to move around, and it's not perfect, but you can make it kind of smooth by figuring out the right pencil type and also the right speed, you know, and then more density will make the object even smoother. We can increase the one, we can make it, let's just give it like one more subdivision, apply it, it's even denser now, so it's, yeah, and let's move it down, so now we can see it kind of works. So you can make fun patterns. They are not going to be perfect because, again, you have to, unfortunately, to move around with your cursor, but it's, come on, it's cool. I like it a lot. I tried it at first with the texture painting, it doesn't work, but the Vertex paint does, kinda, in this way at least. And what you can do is basically, let's say, and I would say we're gonna jump to the baking stuff, but again, baking is also weird to me, so I would actually recommend on this point, if you have an object like that and you want to bake it on top to, you want to bake the texture, the color onto a texture, yeah, Google it. But I'm gonna cover it a little bit so that you can maybe do it, but you have to tweak around. So let's just say we go back into the object mode. Let's just say you have this super dense object, you know, because it's fun, better for for painting. Then I would say we're gonna duplicate that, or just copying it, like Control C, and I'm hiding, I'm gonna change the name of this egg into egg 1. That's good, egg 1, and I'm gonna press H for hiding it, and I'm gonna paste in the other one and say this is egg 2, and I'm going to decrease this. I'm going to make it a simpler version. So meaning I'm gonna use a modifier in this case, and I'm gonna choose, I think there are two options. Multi-resolution, let's try this one and see. Yeah, I'm gonna choose multi-resolution, say unsubdivide. Wait, maybe, I mean, the other one would work too, but let's just, okay, it works, so let's use this. And I think that's okay. So let's just do it one more time. Yeah, okay, I unsubdivided it until this point. There is a different one you can choose. You could have used this guy here too, and then you can, oh, you know, this works too. Basically, play around with those different modifiers if you want. So we have now egg 2 and egg 1. So egg 1 is, or let's say egg 1 is the high resolution, and egg 2 is the low resolution. So okay, that's great. Let's just press Alt and H for unhide the objects. Now we can select both. We have this one here, and we have that one. Okay, so I'm gonna hide my high object, and I'm going to delete the whole information, so it's empty. I deleted the material properties, and I'm gonna give it auto. Don't even have to do this. So I hid my high resolution egg and selected my low resolution egg. Now we're gonna jump into texture paint, and we're gonna press on this plus icon here and choose base color, and we are going to increase the resolution. You don't have to do this, but you can, you know, more resolution, better it is, twice. So I say I multiply this, like multiply it with the 2, or you can alternatively just type that in 2048. Alpha is not needed, but I'm leaving it like that. I don't want to confuse you. So we press OK with these information, and we jump back to the shading. So our low resolution egg got already material, this material here. Maybe it's material 2 or something. Don't be confused on this, but it should look like that. And now when we unhide our egg here, our high resolution egg, man, that's a name, a high resolution egg, and it's very important. So we're gonna prepare already, select the high resolution egg first, hold down Control and select the low resolution egg. Make also sure that only those both are selected, not more, not less. And now we're gonna jump from Eve to cycles. Now we're on cycles, and we go down to bake. And so now again, I'm not an expert on those things. Let's just change this from combined to simply diffuse should be enough. Okay, we can leave it like that. I think so. I think we only need the color. I think so, yeah. And this one is very important. Select to active. That's what we do. We selected the higher one first and the lower one secondly. So we want to put the information, the color information from the high egg to the low egg. Man, it got boring so quickly. Okay, then yeah, that's what we did. And now we say bake, and hopefully something will happen. This takes a while. If it says 0 for a long time, just let Blender do it for a while. It calculates or it does something or whatever it's doing, and it's baking right now. And it shouldn't take too long, but well, let's just see. Wait with me a second. Should I pause the recording? No, it's doing something. 1%. Sometimes it starts with 1%, but then it jumps quickly to, you know, to 100. Maybe because I used such a dense origin egg. Yeah. Ah, here we go. See, from 1 to finish in no time. So now when we hide our, we're gonna just hide the high resolution egg. You don't see anything. When this happens to you too, maybe this is just on my system, I don't know, just change the render. This will fix the problem. So it kind of worked. Again, I'm not an expert on those things. I'm gonna unhide the other thing. You can see it kind of worked. I probably made a mistake that I forgot to unwrap our egg first. So I'm gonna give it a try, but this is how it approximately works. You can also look this up again, you know, this is not this is something like I said, also hard for me a little bit. Just want to mention it, you need to save it locally on your PC. So I would recommend, if you have a good version, you're gonna try this again, but I'm just gonna say this right now. If you have a good version, you can click on how does this work again? Here on image, and then save as, and then you can save the texture as a real picture on your desktop. If you just close it, Blender will ask you to save this separately, but make sure to save it. I always make sure to save it before I leave it. Okay, not where doesn't look like the original, but kind of expected it because I'm not very good at this, but it's also interesting, kind of. It's not looking too bad. Okay, let's try this one because I'm curious. Go select the lower egg, go into the edit mode, and make sure you've selected the face selection method, and then right click, and we're gonna try unwrap. Let's see, let's prove this. We're gonna jump into UV editing. I just want to see how this looks. Let's use a different system. We say face selecting mode, that's very important, otherwise you don't see the UV unwrap faces. And we're gonna use smart project, and like so. And yeah, we're gonna use that and see if this works. Okay, we're gonna jump back into shading, and now we're gonna bring our egg back. I think the position of those eggs are also very important. So we're gonna click on the high resolution egg first, then secondly on the low resolution egg, and we're gonna say baking again. And I think this time I'm just gonna pause until it's finished. Okay, so I'm curious, it kind of looks maybe better, I don't know, we'll see if this worked out well. Then it's good, but it already looks horrible, but we have to, yeah, I do not know how to do that, to be honest, to make it, I mean, I did this once somehow, but yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm gonna try it one more time. I'm just gonna use unwrap and bring it back and make the yeah, I'm gonna make this the low resolution egg, just I cannot really see it, to be honest. To make the low resolution egg just a little bit tinier than the high resolution egg. Just want to figure out if this changes anything. Okay, we're gonna repeat the process. I should use GPU, I forgot that. Okay, high resolution egg first, low resolution egg later, and we're gonna say bake again. It should not take so much time this time because I'm reusing the GPU now, and it already started, and I don't think it worked out, but we will see. No. Maybe we have to unwrap both. I think that's what it is, huh? Let's give it a try. Okay, in the same way, I'm gonna unwrap this guy, just like so, and I'm gonna unwrap this guy, just like so. And it takes forever. No, it doesn't. Okay, let's repeat the progress. Up. What am I doing? Same thing. High first, low later, and baking time. And nothing happens. Why? What did I do wrong now? Maybe I have to click on this too. Yeah, maybe. Sometimes you have to maybe also make sure that this one is clicked on. So I'm curious now. And no, I have freaking no idea how this actually works well. Yeah, that's the sad part. You always they're baking stuff on top of the other things. Always weird. But I'm not giving up so fast. Now we're gonna try to make this one bigger. I just want to see if it makes a difference, because I remember certain things, you know, from tutorials I watched earlier, so I try to figure out what it's actually what the problem is. So no active image found, that's why we have to go click on this guy here. I think it should work now. Merging maybe. Yeah, this one here. Merging. This probably. Oh, I see. So, okay. Now I'm glad I recorded, because okay, we are able. We did it. We did it. But you can also, I forgot, I remembered something with the merge, and you can try. Okay, good. Okay, it's done. I have to watch my own video to know, because I forgot what I actually did. Anyway, that's, you know, why it's good. Okay, then again, the main focus I wanted to share is the rotating object, and then I just want to cover it a little bit with the baking stuff. Okay, but listen, I also want to try to use a different object now, because I want to play around with this idea. So we're going to make a pottery, a simple version, a pot first. So, and like so. So let's just say we have this guy here, and we need like, and this looks good. Okay, let's make a copy of this guy. So, and let's apply. Put the dense object here, smooth, that's also fine. I can actually in this case make auto smooth. And now we giving it the same material. It's a little bit easier that way. Oh, let's do the whole thing together, why not? Yeah, so we say Vertex paint and new, and we say color information, nonsense. We say color attribute again, yes, this guy here. So, and we're gonna choose, we don't have any color probably yet. Okay, I made it. Go to the Vertex paint, here we go. And now we have a color information, that's good. Yeah. So we can go back into the if, move, and yeah, so now we could actually just paint on this like we did earlier with the egg, only I need the animation, but it's not, so we're gonna just copy the animation data from this guy. So I'm gonna select this guy first, a pot, and then the egg secondly, Control L, and link animation data. Now they share the animation data. If you don't want him to have, if you want them to separate the animation data too, then I would just recommend the easiest way to fix that is Control C to copy this guy, then delete this guy and paste it in again. Now it's independently the animation. So now this guy rotates, and now to the fun part. Vertex paint. This is where I'm looking forward to. What the X? What am I doing here? No, here we go. So, and now I hope it, no, it doesn't work. Boy, what did I do wrong now? Vertex paint, right? Yeah, Vertex paint. Is it also selected? It's also selected. Then it should work. But it doesn't. Oh no. Oh no. Wait, maybe it doesn't. I just cannot see it. Maybe we have to recalculate. Yeah, now it works. Okay. Yeah, if this happens sometimes, you need to, with painting and texture painting, make sure you painting on the right size. So sometimes you know, when you go into the edit mode and press Alt N, you can say recalculate outside or flip and try it again. That sometimes solves the problem. So I don't know what the white dots are, what the heck that is right now, or why I'm seeing that. I have no idea. But the idea pretty much is clear, right? So, and that's the important thing. Yeah, and this way, do I really wonder what that is? I see. That's just a, okay, so then we can make a pottery. Something like that. So first, this. I mean, you should need you should make a nicer geometry model. Maybe also not, you know, just a nicer one. I'm sure I did something wrong here, but the idea is cool, and I like the idea a lot. So let's go on the painting mode again, and for some reason it's like that. So and then you can actually do it like this, and then it needs more geometry, guys, to make it to work nicer on this. So we can just subdivide it. That'll do it, I think. But yeah, the subdivision will make it even smoother, so I want to do that. So yeah, that's pretty dense. Okie dokie, and let's do this again. Paint. I do not know why this is showing, but okay, I can turn it off in this way. I don't know. Ah yeah, that's better. That's a lot better. So now you can, yeah, and something is wrong here, but I'm sure if we have a better model, it'll work better. Maybe it's also good if you want to do something like this to make sure. Yeah, let's create a new model. Let's create a new model which is kind of looking like this guy, only that it is not so super dense. For that we're gonna use a cycle. Yeah, like so. Make it smaller and then make it bigger. So, and that'll be it for now already. Or can we maybe that? And now, so okay. Again, I'm gonna hurry this progress up pretty much, but there is a lot of potential. It's not gonna be perfect because the idea is new, so errors are inevitable. Nice word. Happy I was able to insert that. Makes me sound so intelligent. Inevitable, Mr. Anderson. So this guy apply. Okay, and unwrap, why not? Let's also unwrap this guy. Unwrap, here we go. And now we're gonna change it to Vertex paint again. And we need to go to the object mode because it's not rotating. So we're gonna do that also. Make the thing rotate endlessly. How you do this is up to you. I'm gonna copy it, delete, paste it in. And now I jump into the Vertex paint. And now I'm going to paint it, but nothing happens because I don't have any material again. Yeah, same problem. So Control A, color information, color attribute. Color attribute goes into the base color. Here we go. And now let's try this out again. Let's see if this works. So yeah, that's it's not rotating. It is not rotating, so I forgot something, or I did something wrong. No problem. We can figure it out. So this guy should, I see I copied the modifier, I made it. Link animation. Control C and delete and paste in. Now it's independently on second, yeah, an object. Okay. Now, fun part. Ah, yeah. Here we go. And that's how you can make your pottery. Yeah, that's great. And now we're gonna use the solidifier to make it nicer looking. And the bevel modifier to make it even nicer looking. Careful. Can we make it smooth? Mr. Something smooth? No. Work the smooth stuff of the, yeah, it does. does percentages and a high dense object that makes it really tough to use actually bevel here. We don't animate it like it, you know, it's okay, good. So we can actually even use a color input geometry, texture, coordinates, geometry, color attributes, object info maybe. There is a way to make it two phases. Coordinate. Where was that? Particularly for object info. Use that. Ah, geometry. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, this one, and I think I mix shader, no, color, mix color. Okay, color mix. This one here should be fine. This goes here, this goes there, and then back facing goes here. I think. If I'm not wrong right now. I think I'm doing it wrong right now. I see, yeah, of course I'm doing it wrong. This one has to go here. And now this one goes there. Yeah, that works. Okay, and see if this works too. Ah, I think it cannot work in this case because I think it doesn't work because of the geometry and it's a flat object basically. But it should not matter. Color ramp. Let's just give it a see, wait, maybe it's like that. No. Interesting. No, it doesn't work like I wanted it to work. I'm gonna show you what I mean because it's technically let's just undo this quickly. It's possible to give a material like a flat surface, like for example this guy here can have two colors, you know, like in this method, with this method, like I'm not sure what I mean, what I intended to do. So is I grab this guy here. So face back facing into the effector. And so one side can be green and the other one can be the other color. Actually, we don't need that. So that works. In this case, it doesn't work. I think it has to do with the vertex color. It's a little bit different, but that's also okay. I was just curious. But yeah. Anyway, again, that's what comes when you figure something out. You know, try something else, and then you think that could work, and it kind of does, and then it leads you to the next idea and so on. Okay. Yeah, that's just a nice way to texture something. But I also want to make this guy here more rough. The right one? No, I think no, it's the right one. Vertex paint. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. Voila. Yeah. I see. It had to do with the. You can see. The modifier doesn't work. is responsible why it didn't work. But why that is, could we, yeah, so it still works in this way. We can paint, but you know, it's just an idea. Okay. Okay. Okay, I gotta go now. I showed everything I wanted to show. You may have a use for that. It's fun, that's for sure, to do that. Yeah, that's it. Have a nice day. Bye bye.